Welcome to the Leadership Spark podcast, where we equip you to be the great leader your people deserve. This is Corey, and we're going to continue the conversation around this identity shift that every leader needs to make. We've talked about the need to be more like Yoda, less like Superman. Yesterday, we talked about this dependency loop that we can find ourselves in that will make it hard for us to be more like Yoda, and we will be more like a superhero, which we want to break away from. And we talked about the need to break away from it. And so today, what I want to talk about is the shift that you can make as a leader that will allow you to get things done through other people. And so it's the opposite of the dependency model. How do you put a model in place that will allow you to get things done through people, that will equip you and position you to be more like Yoda? How do you go from doing to enabling to empowering? That's really the path that we want to go through, is go from you doing it to you empowering or you enabling someone else to do it, and then they are empowered to do it. And so this helps bring focus to the clarity that people have about what it is you expect them to do every day, the context that they're doing it in, the guardrails and coaching that you can provide rather than completing the task yourself. And so you can start to shift away from doing the work to how do you help make sure people are clear on the way that they need to do it. They have the context they need to be able to get it done. They have the guardrails that you've given them and the coaching that you provide, the more Yoda that you provide as a leader to be able to get things done. And so those are the four big things that you have to drive if you want to make this identity shift to someone who goes from doing, enabling to empowering. And so clarity is really making sure the team understands the goal, the priorities, and the expected outcomes. One of the most important things you can do as a leader is to communicate the standard. What is the standard? What is the goal? What is the priority? What is the performance level or the expectation or the outcome that you expect from it? When everyone knows this, when they know what good looks like, then they can act confidently to be able to drive towards the standard that you set. And so people need to be clear. So if you want to make the shift from doing to enabling to empowering, the first thing to do is provide clarity. The second thing is context, to share the why behind the work. People need to understand the why, understand the bigger picture, understand how they connect to the bigger story that's being written on your team or in your company, and how their contribution every single day connects to that big goal that you have as a company. That will help them make better decisions on their own, because you want them to be empowered to make decisions. So they need context. They need guardrails. You as the leader defining the boundaries, the standards, the support that the team needs to be able to get work done. Instead of jumping in to do the task yourself, help them develop the skills and the confidence and the judgment to be able to do it themselves, and you'll be able to scale your team. And they need coaching from you. They need you to be more like Yoda, that you give guidance, feedback, you support the team, and you coach them through so they can understand how they can get better as they're doing the work that you are delegating them to do. And so here's the deal. The team can only grow when they own the outcome. Your team can only grow until they own the outcome, not just the task. So how do you enable them and empower them so that they understand and take ownership of the outcome? And so when you step in to do the work yourself, you limit the capacity for your team to be able to do that, and the development that they need to be able to own the outcome that you want them to drive as a team. And so if you empower your team instead of doing the work yourself, you're going to unlock faster execution, which is what you want as a leader. Your team's going to be engaged more than they are today. And you're going to have stronger problem-solving skills on your team that can get work done and make decisions independent of you as a leader, but connected to the outcome that you're trying to drive as a leader. And so I want to encourage you to make this shift. How do you think about going from doing to enabling to empowering? And how do you start to take the baby steps to be able to do that? And so pick some work today that you have on your plate. Pick a project, pick a process that you normally manage, define how decisions will be made, delegate that to someone else, give them the guardrails that they need to be able to do it. Take a step back, choose to take a step back and play the role of a coach, provide coaching for them as they are doing the work rather than you completing the tasks, and then track and give feedback along the way. So pick one task this week with one person on your team and try it out. See if you can go from doing to enabling someone else to do it to where they feel empowered to show up and do it every day. And if you can do that consistently, you will make the identity shift as a leader, and you will be able to get more things done through the people on your team.